strong is your password? If you go to grc.com/haystack, you can type in your password, and don't worry, it's a safe website. That page is created when you log onto that site. It's created right there for you. It's not Steve Gibson isn't saying they're tracing it or collecting your information. I can assure you of that. I personally can assure you that that won't happen. So you go there and you type in your password, and it'll tell you exactly how strong it is. It's not really meant to be used as a tool to see the strength of your password, but it's a good indicator as to if it's a decent password. I mean, if you put your password in, it says that it can be compromised within a few seconds or a minute or an hour, then it's probably not a very good password. But if you put your password in and it says, like in my case, it'll take hundreds of thousands of centuries to crack that password, then you got a good idea that it's a decent password. So I've done that. It told me it takes centuries to crack my password, but that doesn't mean that I'm safe, that I'll never have to change my password again, because I did. I had to change my password just recently, just in the past week. In fact, I'm still changing passwords for my sites because a certain site was compromised and my password was obtained, and it got out there, and I was actually locked out of one of my accounts, and I had to go back in, reset my password, change it, only because they had actually got the password itself. They actually had it sitting in front of them, and they were able to read it and type it in. A brute force attack on that password wouldn't have resulted in anything but wasted time for them. But seeing as how they had it in front of them, it was easy enough to put my email address, my password in, and there they had it. They were in. And they're in Italy, Scandinavia. They're probably just routing it through those places.
California, so I'm sure they were just routing it through those places. But it most likely came from China, and they route these things through all these other places, just to spoof it, to make it look like it's coming from these other places. And so that kind of information didn't help me much at all. But my point is this. I'm getting off topic. My point is this: passwords shouldn't be words, and they shouldn't be dates, and they shouldn't be something that you would put down on a piece of paper or on a document somewhere. Mother's maiden name, driver's license number, social security number, your birth date. They shouldn't be things like this. They shouldn't be the city you were born in. They shouldn't be the street that you grew up on. They shouldn't be your dog's name. They shouldn't be your child's name or your child's birth date. They shouldn't be anything that can be found in a dictionary in any language. Plain and simple. They shouldn't be any dates, times, or anything that can be easily found out just by looking at public records. So what should the password be? Well, a phrase. Take a phrase. I like watching cartoons on Saturday, and you take the first letter of each of those words, and that's the first part of your password. Then you take characters like the @ symbol, the question mark, the pound sign, the quote marks, any of those symbols on the keyboard, on the computer, and you put a couple of those in. And you throw some capitalization in there too. Put it in the middle or at the end. You know, mix it up. Put some letters, some symbols, some capitalizations, some symbols, some more letters, some numbers. You know, these are things that should have capitalize, lowercase, numbers, symbols. If you have all of those in there, all 4 of those, then you should have a pretty decent password or passphrase. See, even I'm still calling it a password. I wish we would change the passphrase. So, how often do you change your password? Well, if you've been using the same password for years now, it's time to change. Really, it is. Because I guarantee you, somebody out there other than you has that password. Guaranteed. You may not know it. They may not be accessing your account all the time or at all, but I guarantee in some database, someplace out there, there's your password with your login username just sitting there waiting for someone to pick it up and say, aha, I have this information. I wonder what it does when I log in. Oh, look, I'm in. Well, let me send out some emails. You know, there, sent them out. That looks like they came from Jane451. So, change your passwords and don't use words. Use a phrase, like I said. Pick a phrase. Use the first letters of each of those words in that phrase. Add some numbers, some letters, some capitalizations, some symbols, and you should be fine. Microsoft has also got a very good website that if you type your password in there, it'll tell you how strong it is. And I'll put links below for both the GRC Haystack and the Microsoft password website that lets you know how strong your password is. Alright, thank you and have a good day.